Hi all, Yankee Farm Wife here. Well, tomorrow is the big day. Lots of people have voted already, which is awesome. There's a lot of fear surrounding going to the polls tomorrow in some locations. So, a little bit about what to do if you feel uncomfortable about anything or if you need to report anything. Here's just a little video about your rights as a voter and some resources you can easily access online. Editor Kate made a public document. You can find it in the link in the captions with everything I say in this video about voting info and your rights. So vote, as Kamala herself says.
There is nothing in the world that will stand in my way.
Okay, first and foremost, to learn about your rights, report voter intimidation, access disability-related accommodations, language assistant, and for just general help at the polls, you can call the Nonpartisan Election Protection Hotline at 1-866-OUR-VOTE. That's OURVOTE. Right there. That's it. Remember that you're going to need this one for anything, okay? To find your polling place, there's a link right in the description in big letters where you just type in the address that you're registered to vote at and it pulls up all your info. Again, it's in the description and it is at allvotinginfotool.org. That's where you go. Super, super simple. This is important. Know what you need to bring to vote. 36 states have laws requiring voters to show ID. The other states use a variety of methods to ID. Most of the time, it's a signature. The National Conference of State Legislatures has a comprehensive list of ID requirements state by state. That link is also in big letters in the caption. Now onto your general rights. Your rights. If the polls close while you're still in line, stay in line. You have the right to vote. If you make a mistake on a ballot, you can ask for a new one, something that I've always worried about doing. If the machines are down at your polling place, ask for a paper ballot. If you run into any problems or have questions on election day, call the Election Protection Hotline. All of this info is also in our caption and documents. You can speak to them in English, Spanish, Arabic, Bengali, Cantonese, Hindu, Urdu, Korean, Mandarin, Tagalong, or Vietnamese. But that's who you talk to and they will help you. If the poll worker says your name is not on the list of registered voters, do not panic and be nice. Know that voters are entitled to a provisional ballot even if they are not in the poll book. After Election Day, election officials must investigate whether you are qualified to vote and be registered. What to do then? Ask the poll worker to double check for your name on a list of registered voters. Make sure to spell your last name out for the poll worker. If your name is not on the list, ask if there is a supplemental list of voters. If the poll worker still cannot find your name, confirm that you are at the correct polling place. So you can request that the poll workers check a statewide system, if one is available, to see if you are registered to vote at a different polling place. If the poll worker does not have access to a statewide system, ask them to call the main election office. You can also call 1-866-OUR-VOTE and ask for help verifying your proper polling place. If you are registered at a different location, in most instances, you will have to travel to that location to cast a regular ballot. If the poll worker still cannot find your name, or if you cannot travel to the correct polling place, ask for the provisional ballot. For those of you who may have a disability, under federal law, all polling places for federal elections must be fully accessible to older adults and voters with disabilities. Simply allowing curbside voting is not enough to meet the Americans with Disability Act, the ADA, accessibility requirements. In federal elections, every polling place must have at least one voting system that allows voters with disability to vote privately and independently. Election officials, including poll workers, must make reasonable accommodations as needed to help you vote. Election officials must provide you with help if it's possible for them to do so. A voter with a mental disability cannot be turned away from the polls because a poll worker thinks they are not qualified to vote. For more elaborate information on all of this, check out Kate's document and links in the caption. And this is most important of all, aside from casting your actual vote. It is illegal to intimidate voters and a federal crime to intimidate, threaten, coerce any other person for the purpose of interfering with the right of the other person to vote or to vote as he may choose. If you experience this, don't let it slide. In many states, you can give a sworn statement to the poll worker that you satisfy the qualifications to vote in your state and then proceed to cast a ballot. Report intimidation to the Election Protection Hotline at 1-866-OUR-VOTE or 1-888-VE-VOTA in Espanol, and that's VEYVOTA. Report intimidation to your local election officials. Their offices will be open on Election Day, which is our high holy day this year, I believe. All right, those are the basic bones of your rights. We will do this. Everyone stay safe and, vote blue. Sincerely, the Yankee Farm Wife.